Welcome to Global Explorer. Today we're taking you on an unforgettable journey through Alaska, the last frontier. From breathtaking glacier to stunning wildlife, we will explore 6 must-visit locations. But there's a special kind of beauty in the raw, untamed wilderness, and that's where we're headed today, Alaska. We're talking glaciers bigger than skyscrapers, mountains that pierce the clouds, and wildlife that'll make your jaw drop. This ain't your average tourist trap, folks. This is the last frontier, where the air is crisp, the water's cold, and the adventures are unforgettable. Over the next few minutes, we're gonna dive headfirst into the heart of Alaska. We'll explore 6 must-see destinations, each with its own unique charm and challenges. We'll meet the hard-working folks who call this place home and discover the hidden gems that make Alaska a true wonder of the world. So, pack your bags, grab your sense of adventure, and get ready to experience the raw, untamed beauty of Alaska. Trust me, folks, this is one journey you don't want to miss. Our adventure begins in Anchorage, the largest city in Alaska, and a place where you can find a decent cup of coffee and a moose in the same morning. Don't let the urban landscape fool you, though. Anchorage is a city on the edge of the wilderness, surrounded by towering mountains and the icy waters of Cook Inlet. Now, I'm not usually one for city slicking, but Anchorage has a certain charm. It's a place where you can grab a locally brewed beer after a day of hiking in Chugach State Park, or find yourself face-to-face with a bald eagle while strolling along the Knowles Coastal Trail. Speaking of that trail, it's an 11-mile stretch of pure Alaskan beauty. You can walk it, bike it, or even rollerblade it if you're feeling adventurous, and trust me, the views are worth every step. You might even spot a moose or two along the way, just try not to get too close. Anchorage is a city that embraces its wild side, and that's what makes it the perfect starting point for our Alaskan journey. It's a place where you can experience the best of both worlds, the comforts of modern life, and the untamed spirit of the last frontier. We're leaving the city behind, folks, and venturing deep into the heart of Alaska's wilderness. Our destination, Denali National Park, home to the big daddy of all mountains, Denali itself. This majestic peak, formerly known as Mount McKinley, stands tall at a jaw-dropping 20,310 feet. That's taller than anything you'll find in the lower 48, folks. Now, Denali National Park ain't your average walk in the woods. We're talking 6 million acres of raw, untamed wilderness. It's a land of glaciers, forests, and tundra, where grizzly bears roam free and caribou outnumber people. You won't find any paved roads or convenience stores out here, folks. This is nature at its most primal, a place where you'll feel the true power and majesty of the Alaskan wilderness. It's a humbling experience, to say the least. So, buckle up, grab your binoculars, and get ready to experience the awe-inspiring beauty of Denali National Park. Just remember, this is their turf, we're just passing through. Alright folks, we're headed north, way north to Fairbanks, Alaska. This ain't your average tourist trap, we're talking about a place where the sun disappears for months on end, and the night sky explodes in a symphony of color. That's right, we're talking about the Northern Lights, also known as the Aurora Borealis, a natural light show that'll make fireworks look like a busted sparkler. Now, I've seen a lot of beautiful things in my travels. Sunsets over the Grand Canyon, bioluminescent waves in the Pacific, but let me tell you, the Northern Lights are something else. Imagine a sky painted with streaks of green, purple, pink, all shimmering and dancing like they're alive. It's enough to make a grown man believe in magic. The best time to catch this show is during the winter months, from September to April. Bundle up, folks, because it gets colder than a polar bear's nose out there, but trust me, it's worth braving the chill. Head out to Murphy Dome, Chena Hot Springs, or Cleary Summit, find a cozy spot, and get ready for a show you'll never forget. Just remember, Mother Nature works on her own time. Catching the Northern Lights takes a little luck, a little patience, and a whole lot of awe for the natural world. Alright folks, pack your bags because we're heading south to a place where the mountains meet the sea. Seward, Alaska. Now Seward is a charming little town in its own right, but the real draw here is the Kenai Fjords National Park. And the best way to experience this park, you ask? By boat, my friends, by boat. Imagine yourself cruising through icy waters surrounded by towering cliffs and glaciers that seem to rise up from the depths. The air is crisp and clean, filled with the sounds of crashing waves and the cries of seabirds. And if you're lucky, you might even spot a whale or two breaching the surface. Now, I've seen my fair share of wildlife, from alligators in the Louisiana bayou to grizzly bears in the Alaskan wilderness. But there's nothing quite like seeing a humpback whale launch its massive body out of the water just a few feet from your boat. It's a sight that'll stay with you long after you've left Alaska. But the wildlife is just the beginning. Kenai Fjords is also home to some of the most impressive glaciers you'll ever see. These massive rivers of ice carve their way through the landscape, creating breathtaking fjords and leaving you in awe of the power of nature. All right, folks, saddle up. We're headed to Homer, Alaska, a town so wild it makes a rodeo look like a petting zoo. Forget concrete jungles, this place is surrounded by mountains that'd make a grizzly bear feel short. Now, Homer's known as the halibut fishing capital of the world, and for good reason. We're talking monster halibut here, folks. The kind that could pull you overboard if you're not careful. But even if you're not a fishing fanatic, Homer's got something for everyone. Imagine breathtaking views of Katmai Bay with snow-capped peaks reflected in the water. And don't even get me started on the wildlife. We're talking bald eagles with wingspans wider than a pickup truck, otters frolicking in the harbor, and enough seabirds to make Hitchcock jealous. Well, folks, we've made it to Juneau, the capital of the last frontier. Now, you might be picturing skyscrapers and traffic jams, but Juneau's a different breed of capital city. Nestled between the Gastineau Channel and the towering mountains of the Coast Range, it's a place where you're more likely to spot a bald eagle than a traffic light. And forget about driving everywhere. Juneau's so surrounded by water and mountains that the only way in or out is by plane or boat. That's right, folks, this capital city is an island unto itself. But don't let the remote location fool you. Juneau's got a rich history and a vibrant culture all its own. Founded during the gold rush, the city's streets still echo with the stories of prospectors, miners, and adventurers who came seeking their fortune. And today, Juneau's a melting pot of cultures, with a thriving arts scene, delicious seafood, and enough outdoor adventures to satisfy even the most intrepid explorer. Now, no trip to Juneau would be complete without a visit to the Mendenhall Glacier. This massive river of ice flows for 13 miles from the Juneau ice field, ending in a stunning glacial lake. You can hike to the glacier's face, take a boat tour across the lake, or even strap on some crampons and go ice trekking. Just be prepared for some jaw-dropping views, folks. But Juneau's got more to offer than just glaciers. Take a whale-watching tour and witness the majesty of humpback whales breaching in the waters of the Inside Passage. Or hop on the Mount Roberts tramway and soar above the city for panoramic views of the surrounding mountains and waterways. And if you're feeling lucky, try your hand at panning for gold. You never know, you might just strike it rich. Now, what I love about Juneau is that it's a city that's both steeped in history and brimming with adventure. You can spend the morning exploring the historic downtown, learning about the city's gold rush past at the Alaska State Museum, and then spend the afternoon hiking through pristine rainforest or kayaking alongside harbor seals. And when you're ready to refuel, Juneau's got you covered. From fresh-caught seafood to Alaskan craft beer, there's something to satisfy every taste bud. So if you're looking for a capital city that's anything but ordinary, a place where you can experience the raw beauty of Alaska and immerse yourself in its rich history and culture, then Juneau should be at the top of your list. Just be sure to pack your sense of wonder, and maybe a waterproof jacket or two, because in Juneau you never know when adventure might call. Well, folks, we've come to the end of our Alaskan adventure. From the towering peaks of Denali to the icy depths of the Mendenhall Glacier, from the bustling streets of Anchorage to the peaceful waters of Katmai Bay, Alaska has shown us its wild side, and it's been one heck of a ride. We've seen glaciers calving, whales breaching, and eagles soaring. We've met hardworking Alaskans who live and breathe this rugged landscape, and we've experienced firsthand the raw beauty and untamed spirit that makes this state so special. Alaska is a place that stays with you long after you leave. It's a reminder that there's still wildness left in the world, a place where adventure is always calling and the possibilities are as vast as the landscape itself. If you've never been to Alaska, I urge you to add it to your bucket list. And if you have been, well, you know what I'm talking about. So, from all of us here at Global Explorer, Thanks for joining us on this incredible journey. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and we'll see you on the next adventure.